What if you could close real estate deals at a high level and build a second business that helps other agents get their time back? My guest has been doing both for nearly 2 decades, and she is just getting started. My guest today is Raquel, a California realtor licensed since 2007 with over 18 years of experience. She's built a diverse portfolio spanning luxury properties to investment flips, mentored countless agents on building scalable systems, and is the co-founder of ScaleMate VA, a company transforming the way real estate agents and entrepreneurs run their business by building very real leverage. Raquel then joined EXP and the Wolfpack because of the social media presence, and today she is going to share how she has built not just one thriving business, but two. So if you have ever felt like you are doing everything yourself and wondering how to get your time back, this one is definitely for you. So let's get into it. Hi, Raquel.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I very much appreciate it. It's nice to see you again. And I'm excited for what we're going to chit chat about because you've done so much. And I think everybody here is gonna love what you have to share.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to share. It's definitely helped me grow, within my business. So I'm always happy to share with everybody. Whatever I can offer, right, I'm grateful for that.
I'm the same. I think that's what's great about our community, which we'll touch on. But I think what we have is hands down the best because nobody else does it like we do. And the support is very, very real. So
yes,
so
sure.
You've been in real estate since 2007. How has the way you run your business evolved in those 18 years?
Oh, goodness. I would say starting from 2007, it was just social media, I guess, was probably the biggest factor as far as, the evolvement of it. There was not much, right? We would put our listings on the MLS, and that was really about it. And now the social media presence has just completely expanded exponentially. And I believe now, if you are a realtor, you have to also know social media, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, you just need to know. So I would say that's one of the biggest factors as far as growing your business.
Absolutely. Even when I got started in 2017, like social media, I mean, Instagram, I think was just becoming more and more popular. Facebook was like, you still only had your friends and family on there. Right. It wasn't like a huge part of my business up until probably these last like five or 6 years. And so you're very right. It does. I feel the same. Like it has to be, you got to be somewhere on social media for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
And so you built your business primarily through your sphere, which is awesome, and through your social media. So what does that look like in practice, and how do you keep both working together?
Yeah. So one of the, I think, most important ways you build your business, yes, is through your sphere of influence, but just creating relationships. Ever since, I just have always spoken to people about real estate. I love real estate. I started in property management. I then worked for a developer. So it's been part of my life, right? And then I've had children where I speak to my children's friends' parents about real estate. And it's just literally, it's part of my life. So you just constantly, if you love what you do, then you just incorporate it into your daily habits. And that's how I've built my business, is just continuing to incorporate into my daily life.
Yeah, I think that's very important. I think I've seen more business from people that I know and know and love me than, the internet leads or open houses, anything like that. I mean, those are all definitely big factors that can play a part, but it's so much easier to go to the people who know, love, and trust you. And that's essentially what here is. I do feel like too, like Facebook of all things, implementing social media into my business and with my sphere, Facebook has kept me in front of my sphere better. Do you feel like you have found the same thing?
Yes, 100%. Because you're more present with them, right? So people, they'll find you on social media, your sphere, and they'll want to keep in touch, but just continue keeping a presence that absolutely keeps you in front of people. They reach out because they see the type of work, that you're still in the business, what you're doing. They'll always ask questions about real estate. So 100%, I think just being present with your friends and family is huge.
Absolutely. I agree with that. And so now I want to talk about ScaleMate because that is really cool. I love this whole idea.
Thank you.
So you co-founded ScaleMate VA to help agents build leverage. What problem were you seeing in the industry that made you decide to build this?
Yeah, so I would say just getting into the business, but also being a veteran, you wear probably literally like 20 different hats of being a realtor. Like I'm talking about social media, but we have to learn how to do that, right? We have to learn how to create the videos. We have to learn how to edit the videos. We have to learn when a good time to post is, how to, capture the audience. And so because we wear all these different hats, social media, and then also writing the contract, sending it over, I found that I needed help, especially raising 2 children at the time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. So my first virtual assistant that I hired, she was actually my assistant, executive assistant, and a transaction coordinator. And so she really took that, those tasks away, that I can focus on, other business producing things, right? So that was probably the best hire that I ever have done was her. And then after that, I started hiring for social media, and I started hiring for sales, to make sales calls, etc. So it's kind of been a progression, but I find that when you figure out what it is that you do best and what your best money-making activity is, you need to roll with that. You need to run with it. And then all the other things you probably should hire out for.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. It definitely allows you to allocate your time to what you, like you said, what you're good at, what you should be doing. And I agree. I mean, my business changed so much when I hired the guy who helps me, and then a TC this last year. So it's been amazing what it's done for my business.
It absolutely is. And I'm so glad that you did that for yourself. Because a lot of
go ahead.
I was just going to say, a lot of people, they'll hesitate on doing that because they fear that maybe it won't be done as good as they can do it, right? So it's a problem of letting go, a problem of delegating. But in reality, that's actually hurting you. Delegation truly only helps you.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And that actually kind of leads into my next question. So for agents who are doing everything themselves right now, what are the first tasks that they should hand off to a VA, and why is that?
So it really depends on what it is that you do not like doing, right? So for me, it was the transaction coordination, keeping all the files or back-end admin, organized. So for me, that's not a superpower of mine. And so for me, it was super important to find somebody that loves doing that, excels at that, and can run with it. So it really depends. Some people love admin or just being organized. So, they want to keep that within their, their standard operating procedure that they do. So it really depends on what it is that you excel at. But for me, it was transaction coordination, it was admin work, it was social media, editing videos. Sure, I learned it, but then I found that it's not my superpower. Let me go ahead and pass it on to others.
That's exactly what I went through, which is what kept me stagnant from doing social, especially YouTube. I mean, it would take me 2 hours to edit a home tour that was 10 minutes long,
Yes.
And I finally like bit the bullet, hired out. Now I've been consistent with 2 channels for the last year and a half, which is great.
Yes.
And then, adding the social media on top of that. So now I couldn't imagine, like, I don't know why it took me so long. And I don't think mine was control. Mine was more like, do I really want to spend the money? I want to keep all my money to myself. But
Right.
spending the money has definitely allowed me to make more money. So
Exactly.
the return on your investment for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And so you joined EXP and the Wolfpack because of the social media presence. What
Yes.
specifically stood out to you, and how has being inside this community impacted your business?
So I was at a brick and mortar brokerage, and it was super small boutique brokerage, and I was feeling the need to be more visible, right? I felt like I was somewhat of a secret agent, and I needed to, I wanted to grow my business. And so I started looking online, and I came across Wolfpack. I came across one of Mike Sherrard's videos on YouTube, and I saw how he had a huge social media, presence, and I liked the idea of becoming more visible online. So that was probably one of the motivating factors, and I rolled with it and became a Wolfpack member. I would say 2 years ago. So it's been amazing. I definitely have grown online, and like we talked about, have more of a social media presence, even on Facebook with my friends and family. I've for sure grown my business because of it. So it was a great move.
Love it. Yeah, me too. I love it here. Our community is the best.
I agree. And there's so much support. Look, you're in Arizona, I'm in California, right? And we know each other. We support one another. We know others in Texas, Canada, right? Yeah. And so the support is huge. And I never feel, that I can't ask or that somebody's untouchable. Like, we are able to get a hold of anybody, and it's been a great support system.
Yeah. And everybody's so willing to share. Like, that's been my biggest, I feel like, anytime I was with any other brokerage, like the people who were succeeding or doing things differently, or, they found a whole different type of way to do business. They didn't want to share that because they don't want the competition. Whereas really in real estate, there's enough business for everybody. But I love that I can reach out to someone like you and I can say, hey, what's working for you there? And you tell me, and I can implement it here. And then I can share it with other agents. And the community, I think, is what keeps me here more than anything, that and our trainings. But it's just so beneficial, the people that we have, and the support is very real and all the time. Like, we have, we're so connected, and we're borderless. That's what I think is like, You're
absolutely right. And everybody has a different superpower, right? There's new construction. There's, short sell experts, there's REO experts, there's online YouTube experts. So we have everything. Whatever you want to learn or become an expert in, the Wolfpack has it. Yeah. There's an agent in the Wolfpack that has it.
Yep. And they're most likely going to share it.
Absolutely.
Give their best tips and tricks for sure. And so you do mentor a lot of agents too. And you're mentoring agents on building systems for scalability and freedom. What is the biggest mistake that you see agents make when they are trying to scale?
I see agents making, they repeat their actions. And so they don't start creating, they don't create SOPs, which are standard operating procedures. Creating automations is going to stop that behavior, and that will allow you not to be in the same vicious cycle of wasting time. Yeah. So automations, that's huge. So I see new agents making the mistake of not creating automations and not and continuing just to like the same, like for instance, easy, like an email template, right? Like if you're going to send an email template to a buyer or an email, you're repeating it every transaction rather than just having a template. So that right there would be, something you don't repeat. So it's that you're just repeating yourself.
Yeah, no, I agree. I see the same thing with the ones that I help. And you're very right.
Yeah.
Automations can be so helpful. And I mean, it does require a system to set those up too. So
Sure.
that's one, if anybody wants to reach out, they can always ask you about that. And I mean, I've been big on systems this last year as well. I wanted to get more organized. And so I have been building on top of what I built last year because it's always evolving, right? Like real estate evolves, our
Yes.
systems have to evolve. But once you have it in place, it's very small tweaks that you have to make
Yes.
versus trying to build a whole new wheel, So
Exactly. And you can start small. I mean, like I said, even creating just, email templates or even a Word doc or Google Doc, right? Just create those templates in there so you can just literally copy and paste if you don't want to get into the whole automations sector of things. But like EXP offers different CRMs, right? There's 3 different that they offer, and you can create automations in there. And then you can hire a virtual assistant to help you.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm working on now, actually. So
Yeah.
it's
amazing.
It's worth every penny too, because again, I can focus my time on other things that are important, which isn't always business. Sometimes it's family or,
Yes.
personal time, which is very important. And you don't want to hit burnout. And that's why systems are important for sure.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
And so between running your real estate production and co-founding ScaleMate VA, how do you structure your time so both businesses thrive?
So with ScaleMate, we do have more than 5 virtual assistants that help us run that business. I would say 10 in total. And they help us with various, again, the automations, talking to the clients, helping interview virtual assistants so the client can hire them directly. So we've created standard operating procedures for that aspect of it, right? So we rely heavily, we practice what we preach, and we rely heavily on our virtual assistants in helping us run the business. Same with on the real estate side. Like, again, the transaction coordinator, of course, the assistant, that's huge because they're able to answer the questions that I can't get to via email or handle all the admin things. So yeah, that's how I'm able to run my business, is because I have the help. I have the extended help, and we've created the standard operating procedures to run that. So if something were to happen, like I did have one of my virtual assistants, she had a health issue. But during that time, we had systems in place. Somebody else was able to step in and take care of it. It wasn't a fire disaster in the background. It ran smoothly. That's probably the biggest thing, is you do have to be organized, and it doesn't have to happen all at once. One of the things I'll offer is start recording yourself with whatever it is that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, or start documenting what you're doing, because only you know what your business is doing on a day-to-day. And if you want to hire out, the virtual assistant is going to need to know what you're doing. So if you start videoing yourself or just documenting, that's super helpful. So when you do hire, you don't feel overwhelmed or stressed and say, I don't know what to give them. Well, it's documented.
Right. I love that. And it's also a great, I think, training tool to have.
Yes.
So that the training part is easier as well, because you also have to train them. People think, in my experience with others that I've talked to, people think that they can just hire a VA and they hit the ground running. And it's
right.
like, you have to train them how your business runs, what you want them to do. That's what my guy and I did. I don't even like to call him a VA anymore. He's become like my partner. And
Family.
yeah, and we started small. We started with social media, which is what he was comfortable with, and that's where his experience lies. And then we moved into doing YouTube, and then a second YouTube channel, and now we're talking about some admin stuff. And this is, I mean, like I said, a year and a half in the works, because not only do I want him to be comfortable, but I want us to have a good partnership. I want to be able to work out all of the kinks that that we have or have to like figure out, versus here's everything, you figure it out. Oh no, you're not doing it the way that I wanted. Why is this falling apart? Now I have to hire somebody new, and
Right.
I don't want that. I would rather it be smooth sailing. I've been very lucky, one and done so far. So
Yes.
he's been wonderful for my business, and we're growing. We're constantly growing. So I think that's great that you have that. That's really smart to have those kind of videos, or like you said, a documentation of some sorts of how they're going to be working, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's helpful, so they're not always coming back asking questions, or it truly has been the best thing for me anyway. There's programs out there that I've used that actually document everything that you do, even from clicking a link and going through the steps and taking pictures of it and documenting. I've done that, but I've used those too. But I do find that recording is probably the best way.
I love it. Well, you've been wonderful today. And so between 18 years of production, mentoring agents, and co-founding ScaleMate, you are proof that when you build the right systems, your ceiling completely disappears. So thank you for sharing all of this, because I think it's really important for people to hear this. And so for those of you who are watching, if today's conversation gave you something to think about, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single interview on this channel. And if you're ready to start building a business that works for you instead of the other way around, click the link in the description to book a private call with Raquel and I. And make sure you follow her on all of her social medias as well. Check out ScaleMate VA. All of her links are in the description below so that you can follow along with her as well. Thanks, Raquel, for being here. I really appreciate your time, and I will see you later.
Of course. See you later. Have a good one. Bye.